Right guys, I've just upgraded my phone and I've gone from the S22 Ultra to the S25 Ultra. And I thought I'll do a quick video, me being the teacher that I am and the values that I try to give to you guys. I'm going to give you a little lesson in all of this. I've just transferred all of my data from this one to that one. As you can see, the screensaver is still there. That took me a whole day to do. I mean, it was painstaking, all of my banking apps and all the passwords to emails. Some of these emails I couldn't get the password to. And this just goes to show how dependent we have become on our devices managing our entire lives, all our past. We don't even remember anything. You know, once upon a time when I was growing up, we would memorize the phone numbers of certain people who are important to our lives. Nowadays, we only know our own number and maybe your mom or your dad. And you know, everything is in Google Pass or Samsung Pass or Apple if you're using the Apple. And it just goes to show that we are in trouble if we ever lose our phones, because with our phones go everything. It will really knock us into a hole. And it's going to be very hard to come out of that. So this is something to be mindful of, that don't put all your eggs in one basket, like I and many others have. Having said that, now let's have a look at the phones itself. Now, you can see the latest S25 Ultra here. This is the 1 gig model. I always like to buy the ones with the most space because I do a lot of video editing and photography, so I keep a lot of data on there, and that's the reason for it. Now, in terms of the phone design, I think that the S25 has a lot of the iPhone 16 Pro Max vibes. As you can see the cameras, they pop out a lot more. And I like that. This is the S22. I like that. So the Samsung S25 is kind of copying them, in my opinion. It's a bit more square as well, whereas in the past it's been a bit more rounded. Now, one thing I didn't like about it is, you guessed it, the stylus pen. You know what they did? They took away the Bluetooth capabilities. So you can no longer press this pen and take a selfie or a picture, or you do hand gestures. I used to use it only for the pictures, but obviously you can wave to the camera, which is not the same thing because you look a bit crazy when you're trying to wave and activate that camera to take a picture of you. Yeah, that's the real downfall of this. I don't know why. You know, you're supposed to give new things, but it seems as though taking away is the way forward rather than give new things. So that's that. Now, look, I've looked after my phone. As you can see, look at this S22 here. It's pristine, okay? Because I've always kept it in a case and I look after my things. Now, what was the reason for my upgrade? I mean, I've had this phone for 3 years now. I bought it on release day, and 3 years later, this is it. I couldn't wait. So I guess it's desire, because this was doing everything I needed. It was taking good quality pictures. You know, I was happy. It was running all my apps, all the video editing apps I used to use, CapCut and things like that. If I'm honest, it was desire. I waited a very long time, and I finally gave into desire. And this reminds me of this verse, which I will share with you from the Quran. Know that this worldly life is no more than play, amusement, luxury, mutual boasting, and competition in wealth and children. This is like the rain that causes the plants to grow to the delight of their planters. But later, the plants dry up and you see them wither. What does this mean? It means that you've got this green plant, it's, you know, rain and has fallen, it's grown really big, but after some time, the plant dies. It withers away, becomes dry and, you know, not so nice to look at anymore. And this is the same thing. That dopamine hit that we get, once we get our hand on the phone, we think, after a week goes by, we just toss it to the side. It's all right. If we, you know, the first day, I need to get my, you know, screen protector. We get the screen protector, protect it. And then after a while, people are just tossing it around. They don't care, because that desire's gone now. And they're looking for the next best thing. What's next? What's next now? And they might even wait for the following year to see if Samsung or one of these phone device manufacturers can impress them. This is life, my friends. This is what we do every single time. So many of us. And we must understand that these are just temporary dopamine hits. There's no real value in these things except the value that we put in. And sometimes if you're happy and you're content with what you already have, it's more than enough. I mean, you might wonder, thinking, well, why did you change it? I told you my reasons. There was one little thing here, that the battery life was, you know, depreciating badly. I charged up to 100%. A couple of hours later, it was down to 60%, and I was always worried whether I would get through the day. Whereas I've already noticed that the battery on this is a lot better. It doesn't do that. I mean, in that same time frame, maybe it will lose 5% of its battery. And then this goes on to me to become a conspiracy theorist. Are they doing it on purpose so that they force you to get the upgrade? I don't know. Let me know your comments, and if you have upgraded, what have you been your reasons for doing the upgrade? I'd love to hear that. And what do you think about what I've just shared with you? Do you believe that people are like sheep, just following the latest trends and just being controlled by their desires? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. And I know some of you are going to be critical, but be polite, and it's okay.